Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for a combined November TBR and Borrowathon TBR. So, because Borrowathon is about to start this weekend, so I figured I better get a TBR out for that, but I also wanted to do a monthly TBR this month, even though I don't think I haven't been reading a whole lot for the past month and a half. I have only finished one book in October, and I didn't read very much for the last part of September as well. But I am slowly getting back into the reading, at least a little bit. So yeah, with this November TBR, I'm going to start out with the books that I'm currently working on and books that I hope to at least make an attempt at finishing over the month of November. And actually, the majority of the books that I am going to have on my November TBR is library books, because I have a lot of library books out right now. That's why I'm combining it with my Borrowathon TBR, because Borrowathon is all about reading books that you borrowed either from the library or somewhere else, just books that's not your own, just to put on some focus about people, everyone are readers, no matter if the books are their own or if they borrow them from the library. Everyone can have a booktube channel, no matter how many books you own. So yeah, and also just an encouragement to support your local libraries and stuff. But let's start out with getting into the books that I'm currently working on. The first one I'm working on is Cold Days by Jim Butcher, the 14th book in the Dresden Files series. I've been in both a reading bookish slump, but also a listening to books, like audio slump, which has never happened before since I started listening to audios. I could always count on my audio listening, but I haven't been listening to any audios either. For a while I only listened to music and to music and to music, and that's fine as well, and I love listening to music, so it's sometimes difficult balancing both. And I just had a phase where I had to sort of, when I was driving, I wanted to listen to music. But I wanted to get into my audios again, and the best place for me to start is to start with one of my favorite narrators, and that is James Masters. I've talked about him countless of times on my channel, so if you are new to this channel, he's my favorite narrator. If you're not new, you know this. And that's why I started out by picking up Cold Days by Jim Butcher. This is book 14 in the Dresden Files series. I love this series. I'm almost caught up. I have one more novel from that series, and then I have a collection of short stories set in this world called Side Jobs, and that is also narrated by James Masters, except I think for the final story or something, because I think that's from Murphy's point of view, and that makes sense. So I'm enjoying the book. I've actually had some real full-on laugh out loud moments the other day when I was listening. There was something that just really had me laughing a lot while I was driving, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's not on the top of the ranks with my Dresden Files books currently, but that could change. But I don't think it will. But at least it's better than Ghost Story, which was the previous book in the series, which was a bit of a letdown for me. I'm over halfway. I think I have about 2.5 hours or something left of that book. So, and it's about 17 hours long, so I have listened to quite a lot of it. The next book I'm also working on is the only book that is not from the library that's going to be part of this video, apart from the previous audiobook, which is my Audible, so that's mine as well. But that is The Kriegers by Tom Fletcher. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year, because the Tom Fletcher is one of my favorite people, and I really enjoyed The Christmas Stories, which he released last year, and I was hoping to really enjoy this one as well, but it doesn't hold the same, it's not as amazing as the one before. I do enjoy it, but I also think it doesn't help that I'm in a big book slump as well. But there are some great moments already, but still it's not the same exactly. A little more juvenile than the other one was, I think. But it is a children's novel, so it's supposed to be for someone else than me. This is what the naked hardback look like. I really love it. Yeah. His previous books has also been really beautiful, with nice end pages of maps and stuff. This one looks like this. Also have some pretty decent end pages, and there are illustrations throughout the book. Look, sort of like this. And so yeah, but I still don't think it's on as high up on my list as the Christmas Horse, but I'm 110 pages in, so I have read a bit in it. So, but yeah, it goes pretty fast when I read it because it's really large font and it's a children's story, so it's supposed to. But yeah, these books are illustrated by Shane DeVries, but not about me rambling on about that book. I also have started on 2 other books. Actually, I'm surprised I didn't finish one of them because it's just a graphic novel, and that is The Walking Dead Volume 2. But I'm a little way into it, and yeah, I know I'll be finishing it soon. And it's not because I didn't like it, it's just me being weird and not wanting to read. And then finally, I'm also still working on Salems Lot by Stephen King. This is my second Stephen King read of this reading project that I have, and it's definitely very interesting now. I mean, every time I read it, I'm really hooked to the story, but every time I put it down, it takes forever for me to pick it up again because I'm in this slump. But I am just about halfway through now. I'm on page 215 of this book, and the font is pretty small, so it takes a lot longer than I thought it would to read it, but I'm enjoying it. It's creepy, and things are definitely starting to happening like for real now, and I think the next part is going to be creepy. I just finished the first part of this story. I don't know how many parts it's divided into, but I'm on chapter 8 overall. I hope I'll finish this over the weekend, maybe today and tomorrow, but definitely it's going to be part of my Borrowathon TBR. I want to say all of the information about the Borrowathon is going to be in the description box below. The Borrowathon was created by Riley from Our Fig Fact, one of my favorite booktubers, and she has a bunch of hosts helping her along this year. I think there are 5 or 6 or 7, I'm not entirely sure of how many. I'm gonna leave all of that information down below so you can check them out, and also there's going to be some side challenges. I think there are 5 challenges that you can help choose your books, but I have a whole bunch of library books already, so I didn't go down and specifically pick out those books because I have to hand them in, some of them before the 9th and then some others later on. But yeah, so all of my next books are tentatively on my Borrowathon TBR, and we'll see how many of them I get to. I do have all of next week free from work, so I do have a lot of reading time on my hand if I get myself down into it, but so that's nice. And yeah, as I said, the Borrowathon is all about reading the books that you've borrowed from wherever you've borrowed them. I have borrowed mine from the library, obviously, my local library, and I have one ebook, or Overdrive library loan that I also can get to if I want to, but I think I'll push that to afterwards because some of these books I have to read before the 9th. And I actually filmed a library haul when I just got it. I just never got around to edit it. So now you're gonna see them all, and I'm not gonna post the actual library haul because, yeah. So first up we have, I wanna say The Watcher in the Night, but I keep forgetting what this title is. But it's by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and it's, I don't know what it's about at all. I never picked it up in my autumn readathon, which I tried to take part in last week. That's what it's called. But I never got around to it, but maybe I will. It's short, so I could try and get to it, and it is pretty creepy, I think, so it will fit in with this time of year. The books that I'm most anxious to read are these next 2, and the first one of those is Odin's Barn, which is the first book in a series. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a Norse mythology inspired series, and it's written by a Norwegian author, and I've heard really, really great things about it. It's not currently translated to English, but I think it's they're trying to get it translated, and I really want to get to it. I've heard very great things about it, and this is definitely one of those that has pretty large font, so I should be able to read it pretty fast, but we'll see. The other one I have is one I'm also really anxious to get to, and that is The Lying Tree by Frances Hardinge. I've heard nothing but great things about this, and yeah, I definitely have to finish this before the 9th, so that I can say that I've read it and figure out what everyone's talking about. I have wanted to read this for the longest time. Sadly, this is not the one with the illustrations, but I hope I'm still going to be enjoying it without them. So yeah, but I'm definitely excited to get to it. The next 2 books I also have from my original haul are books. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to them, but they're both English titled books, and the books, one of them is really short, so I could get to it, and the other one, I have never heard anything about it before, but I was quite interested in it to see what it was. The first one of those is Animal Farm by George Orwell. I read 1984, and it's one of my favorite classics that I've read, or newer classics. I'm not really good with classics, but that one really hooked me. The only negative thing I have is the ending. I don't feel like the ending, yeah, I guess partly that was bound to happen, but I just thought I would go a different direction. But Animal Farm, he really is one of those authors that can provoke you with his thoughts, but I'm really excited to get to it. It's really super short. I think it's only 100 pages, so I could actually end up finishing this over the Borrowathon as well, and I'm excited. I know Michael Harris really enjoyed this a lot, and I think I also saw Riley reading it and enjoying it a lot, so hopefully I will also enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed 1984, so I know that his writing style is something that I enjoy, and his themes that he takes on, so hopefully this one will be the same. And then finally, I also from that haul have Wolf in Shadow by David Gemmell, which is a John Shannon novel. I don't know what it's about. It's exactly, I think it looks like sort of a gunslinger sort of fantasy, but I don't know actually, and this is also supposed to be handed in by the 9th. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to go down to the library and ask if there's an error, because I couldn't renew any of the books, and I know that some of these books, they have been on, like, I don't think they've already been reloaned. Like 2 of them probably, yeah, but the others I don't understand. And finally, I want to show you the last 2 books that I got. They are books that I reserved for last time, but they didn't come in until the end of October. And one of them is going to be my Stephen King book of November, because I'm still working on my October books, but the next one is really short, and that is Rage by Stephen King, which is actually a Richard Bachman novel, which, please, I don't know, is Stephen King his actual pen name and Richard Bachman is his real name? Or is Richard Bachman his pen name and Stephen King's the real name? I think I heard that Stephen King is a pen name, but I might be wrong. So yeah, but this is apparently a school shooting thing, so it's banned in a lot of cities and states around the US, but I'm gonna read them all, so I'm gonna read this. I'm excited, and it's only 164 pages of this book. It's very short, but I'm probably not gonna get to it this week, so I'm gonna have the last part of November to get to this. And then the final book that I also have on my TBR for November is Half a King by Joe Abercrombie. I've never read anything by Joe Abercrombie before, but when I saw they had this one at the library, I was pretty hooked to get started on this. This is one of the young adult books that he has written, so maybe it's a great place to start. I've heard a lot of great things also about his other series, which I forgot what's called right now, but I'm excited to try and figure out who Joe Abercrombie is as an author, but this is probably not going to be until later this month. If I end up actually finishing all of these books, which will be amazing, over November. I do have a good stack of books to choose from. I both have my recent TBR unwrapping books that I have not gotten to yet at all, but we'll see when and if that happens. But these were all of the books that I have on my TBR for November and for the Borrowathon. I hope to actually vlog over the Borrowathon so I can keep myself in the game or something. I haven't been filming a lot the past couple of months either, so yeah, I'm just trying to get myself back into the rhythm of booktubing and the booktubing live. So hopefully this will help me and also help me keep me motivated to actually read over the next week. And yeah, definitely let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be participating in the Borrowathon, and if you are, I would like to see your TBRs for it. And let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books and if there's some of the books that you think I should read before the others. But that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!